Hello everybody, it's Maikito. I hope everybody has having and has had a good day so far. International wise, I guess I'll just quickly go over the picks and so I don't have to go over them later. Player prop wise, not bad. 2-1. I had an added play, that one hit, and then one of the two and the video hit. And then money line wise, went over 2 on those. So player prop wise, not bad. Internet money line wise, not great. I thought about maybe not posting a video. I tagged everybody in my Discord asking if they just wanted to take a break and just wait till club football came back and just wait till those, or just keep trying to grind it out. Even people were telling me reads are there, we just been unlucky in this hard international break, which I do agree. But I just wanted to give, I guess, know your guys' opinion. You guys say just grind it out, and I did find some picks that I did like. There's one MLS game, which is good because I have some picks from there as well. Again, some international picks as well. So I found some, and I'll just get straight into those. My first pick is Diegorosi to go higher than 2.5 shots, playing at home for Columbus, going up against New England. He's averaged 2.34 shots per 90 so far this season, and they need to win to secure the second place spot when it comes to them playing in the playoffs or whatever the MLS does when it comes to their playoff season after season. And they're playing against a New England team who play horrible defense away from home, who allowed 12.8 shots at home, which is pretty good. That drops all the way down to 19.1 shots away from home, which is really bad. And they're weak against long shots, which is what we like because he's taking 17 from outside, 49 from inside. So he's willing to take those shots from outside the box as well. And he's also a good dribbler, so he can create his own chances. And 44 have been with his right. His shots have been with his right foot. 19 have been with his left. So he's also, if he has to shoot with his left, he will. He does prefer to shoot with his right, but he's not afraid to shoot with his left if he's given the opportunity. And Cucho Hernandez, this is another reason why I really like this pick. Cucho Hernandez is on international break, and he got called up for the Colombian national team, so he is not going to be there. And Rossi is their next best attacker, so I expect more responsibility to be put upon him in this next game, which means shooting more, which is what we want. They played each other in June 29th away from home. With Cucho, he went over with 4, and then the last time they played before that was in October of last year, away from home as well, and he went over with 3. So he went over in the last 2 games against them, and both of them were away from home. Now he's playing at home, which is even better. Again, he's going to have more attacking responsibility against a horrible New England defense, and I think 2.5 is where his regular mark is at, and I think it's a good mark to take. So I like Diegorosi to go higher than 2.5 shots. My next play is Billy Gilmore to go lower than 50.5 passes, playing away from home for Scotland, going up against Croatia. And the reason why I like this is because, first of all, Croatia is a ball possession heavy team, especially against teams that don't control the ball as much, which is smaller teams, not a big nation like Portugal, Spain, Germany, and teams like that. As long as, even when they play teams like that, Croatia have 50% of the ball. When they play smaller teams, just like Scotland, they control a majority of the ball. They had 60% of the ball against Poland, 67% against Albania, 67% against Armenia, 63% against Turkey, who's a good team as well, and 72% against Wales. So it just shows you that, again, as long as it's not a big national team, Croatia will control the game, and I expect the same thing here against Scotland. And Gilmore will likely play next to McLean, whatever his name is. Apologize for that. And he gets a majority, or not a majority, but more touches than Billy Gilmore does. So that also takes away passes from him. And he went under with 46 against Portugal when Scotland had 32% of the ball. He barely went over with 54 passes against Poland, but they had 59% of the ball. They're not going to do that against Croatia. He went under with 39 against Switzerland, and they had 48% of the ball. So even with close to 50-50, Gilmore still didn't go over. Then I don't expect him to go over against Croatia, who again holds the ball a lot. And Croatia still has a lot of players that can help control the ball, such as Modric. They still have him. They have Kovacic in the midfield as well, which is where a majority of the possession is going to be played. They still have Kramaric up top, who plays like a false 9, who still drops back, and he helps control the ball. And they also have Gavardio in the back, great player from Manchester City, who also helps control the ball. So they have players in defense, midfield, and attack that helps control the ball, which is, again, the reason why I like this play. Gilmore won't, I don't think he'll have that many touches, and I expect a lot of counter-attack ball from Scotland. I expect them to try to just defend, try to play off the counter because they just run back and forth a lot and try to defend. And there's a good chance, I say like a 50-50 chance that he gets subbed out anyways, which tends to happen against Scotland when he plays for Scotland. So I like this prop. I like Billy Gilmore to go lower than 50.5 passes. And the last player prop that I like is Diogo Costa to go lower than 2.5 saves playing away from home for Portugal, going up against Poland. Portugal is another high possession team, which means not many chances for Poland, which is what we like. And he consistently goes under this mark against teams that have that hold less possession of the ball, against smaller possession teams. He went under with 1 against Scotland when Portugal has 68% of the ball. He went under with 2 against Slovenia, and that's including extra time when Portugal has 72% of the ball. He went under with 1 against Georgia, in which they also has 72% of the ball. He went under with 0 against the Czech Republic, where Portugal has 73% of the ball. And he went under with 0 against Bosnia, where they have 68% of the ball. So he consistently, like I said, he consistently goes under against teams in which Portugal control the ball, and I expect that to happen against Poland. For example, Poland in the last 2 games when they played in the Nations League gave 60% of the ball to Croatia, which was expected. And even against Scotland, who do not, and I just mentioned it with the Billy Gilmore pick, who do not control the ball and like to play off the counter, gave them 59% of the ball. So again, I expect Portugal to control this game, and Poland just won't have many chances. They won't have possession of the ball. And Poland, in my opinion, will be content with the draw because they're currently 3rd with 3 points, tied with Croatia. And even with just a draw, they expecting Croatia to not lose against Scotland. Even with the draw, Scotland would have 4 points, and Poland would have 4 points, still putting them above Scotland. So even with the draw, it's still technically a win for Poland. So I expect them to play like a 5-back. I expect them to play a lot of defending. I don't expect them to have many chances, and he has a good Portuguese defense to help his job easier with Diaz and Silva in the middle, Dalot on the right, and Nuno Mendes on the left. And Poland might not even have 3 shots on target. Like I said, they just won't have many opportunities against this Portuguese side, and he consistently goes under against smaller teams. So I like this prop. I like Diogo Costa to go lower than 2.5 saves. As always, before I get into the money line, just want to mention that I have the YouTube memberships for those that are interested. For those, I want to get the plays out early before it goes out public, because plays tend to bump or just get taken away sometimes when I post these videos. It's also a great way to support the channel. I also have where I play my player props, underdog, and PrizePicks code in the description, and my moneyline plays Fliff. I have my code for that as well, linked in the description, and my Cashapp if you ever feel generous and want to donate. I have that as well. And I really appreciate anybody who supports me in any way, whether it's liking the video, comment, just watching the video, subscribing, just any way. Doesn't have to be monetary wise, just supporting me in any way really helps, and I really want to thank everybody. My first moneyline play, I spoke about it pretty much. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's the Portugal moneyline against Poland. First of all, they're the much better team who won both games so far in the Nations League against Scotland and against Croatia, and they have great attackers with Cristiano Ronaldo, Rafael Leao, Bruno Fernandes in the midfield, Bernardo Silva in the midfield, Vitinha. Even their defense is strong. They have a great defense as well, so they just have a really good squad. And like I mentioned before with the Diogo Costa pick, Poland won't have many chances and will be defending a majority of the game. They've lost 3 out of the last 5 games, and including 2 out of 3 in the Euros, and they've conceded in 9 out of 10 games so far in the last 10 games. And I say that because they're playing against Portugal, who are a heavy attacking team. And if they already conceded in 9 out of 10 games, including against smaller teams, I expect Portugal to take advantage of this matchup. They scored 2 against Scotland and 2 against Croatia and Poland, and those are better defenses in my opinion than Poland. So I expect them to take advantage of this matchup here against them. Portugal, like I said, just have a great attack, and they seem to have learned. At least Portugal so far seem to have learned from their mistakes from the Euro when it comes to quote unquote playing Ronaldo ball, which is they really just try to feed him. It was the Euro, so they try to give him his moment and stuff. So they concentrate a lot on passing him the ball. But in the last 2 games, one, he came off the bench, played the second half, and then played his full game, and he's been passing a lot more. And they're a much more dangerous Portuguese side when Ronaldo passed the ball, because if they're already emphasizing on him attacking and he actually passed the ball, he has Leao, Bruno, a lot of players he can pass to that can attack the ball. So with now that he's passing the ball, this Portuguese side is just even more dangerous than it was before. And Poland, the only players they have is Lewandowski and Zielinski First of all, Zielinski can't control the midfield and create attacks all on his own. And then Lewandowski always struggles when he plays for Poland because he doesn't get as much service as he can when he plays for his club. And he struggled against Croatia, didn't do anything. Poland didn't score, and he only scored against Scotland due to a like last minute penalty. And I don't expect him to get a penalty against Portugal. Portugal's just a much better side. Poland's going to be defending a lot. I just don't expect much from them, and I like this. I like the Portugal money line against Poland. And then my last money line that I like is the Columbus second half rate money line going up against New England. First of all, you get better value here by taking the second half than just taking the full game. You can take the full game if you're adding it to like a parlay, a safer parlay. You can take the full money line, but for better value, I like the second half 3 money line. They've gone over in 8 out of 16 games at home, scoring 23 and conceding 15. But I don't think defense is going to be an issue against this New England side. They're horrible in the attack, especially away from home. And New England is the second. They have the worst second half away defense out of anybody in the league. They've lost 12 out of 15 times in the second half away from home, scoring 10 and 15, which is less than 1. And again, I don't expect them to score anyways, and conceding 22 goals, which is the worst so far. And like I mentioned, Columbus secures their second place spot with a win here against New England, which is what we like. And they went over in the away game in June 29th. I believe Columbus scored 2, and New England still didn't even score in the second half. New England managed to find the goal in the first half, but not in the second half, and now it's at home. This is going to be even worse for them when they're playing away. And it could take Columbus a bit to warm up because they're not going to be playing Cucho. Sometimes when Cucho isn't played, they also don't play players like Ramirez and Rossi. So they have a whole different squad. But I still expect the same squad, just except taking out Cucho. And with him, they still have players like I said, Rossi, Ramirez, even Arsen, and Russell Lowe. They have plenty of attacking options, and I expect them to be able to get the job done. New England have lost in the second half in their last 4 out of 5 away games so far, and I just think this is a good matchup for Columbus to go out there and beat a weak New England defensive side who aren't even good in the attack anyways. I think you're getting better value because Cucho's not playing, but even then they've played without him for a couple games, and they still did great, and I expect the same thing here. So I like the Columbus second half 3-way money line going up against New England. Thank you everybody for watching. As always, if I do have any added plays, I will add them in the pinned comment in this YouTube video, usually about an hour to 30 minutes before the game starts, so I can see how the lineups play. Some players get changed, lines get bumped and stuff like that. I added one in the last video, just one, and that one hit as well. Like I said, you can just tell by the lineups, it's a little easier to predict and stuff like that. With these international games, they don't really adjust the lines that much, not as much as they would when it comes to club soccer. So again, you can check the pinned comment with about an hour to 30 minutes before the game. And then for those that don't know, I have the Discord, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, where I asked you guys whether I should post or just take a break or something like that. It's completely free if you want to join, linked in the description. For like I said, I talk to you guys, you guys talk to each other, post your plays, post your slips, give each other's opinions, talk during the game, even other sports as well. Just a great community I'm trying to build over there. So if you want to join, that's linked in the description as well. And if you could subscribe, turn on post notifications, like the video, comment, help the video get boosted out to more people, boost the algorithm, do all of that. But other than that, I hope everybody has a good night, a good day, and we can cash out tomorrow.